Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, you better sit down and grab your drink because the tea is piping hot today, and honestly, it is scorching me. I am literally shaking just thinking about it. You know, I don't usually get this worked up over nothing, but this situation with Carter has officially gone from weird coincidence to full-blown single white female horror movie vibes. I feel like I'm in a psychological thriller and I'm the victim. Okay, so rewind with me for a second. You remember the last year and a half, right? You know how messy things got with my old friend group back sophomore year. It was toxic, it was draining, everybody was beefing with everybody and I just had to dip. I needed peace. And honestly, cutting them off was the best decision I ever made. I found my new crew, the guys I hang with now, and the vibes have been immaculate. No drama, just good times, everyone is chill. I finally felt like I had my own identity separate from that old high school nonsense. So picture this, about 6 months ago, Carter, you remember Carter from the old group, right? The one who was always kind of quiet but generally okay. He slides into my DM, out of nowhere. He's like, hey man, haven't seen you in a minute, we should catch up. And me being the forgiving, nice person that I am, I'm thinking, why not? We never really had beef personally, we just drifted because the group exploded. I figured he was just lonely or missed the friendship. We hung out a couple of times, just one-on-one. We grabbed food, played some video games, just drove around. It was cool, it felt nostalgic, like the good old days before everything went south. We vibed, I thought, okay, this is nice. I can have a friend from the past and keep it separate from my current life. But then, the request came. We were chilling one day and he drops the, yo, your new friends seem hilarious on your story. I'd love to meet them sometime. In my head, I hesitated for like a microsecond, but then I pushed it down because I didn't want to be a gatekeeper. I talked to the boys, asked if it was cool if I brought Carter to the next hangout, and they were like, yeah, bring him through, more the merrier. Girl, if I could go back in time and slap myself, I would. I would tackle myself to the ground. He came to the first hangout and it was fine. Everyone was nice, he was a little quiet, but whatever. But then he came to the next one. And the next one, and suddenly he's just there all the time. And that's when the shift happened. That's when things started getting weird. At first, I thought I was tripping. I thought maybe I was being narcissistic or imagining things. But tell me why this man started morphing into me. I'm not even joking. Let's start with the style. You know how I've been really into that specific streetwear look lately. Like the oversized vintage tees, the specific way I cuff my cargos, the silver rings. I spent months curating my look because I wanted to switch it up. 2 weeks after Carter starts hanging with us, he shows up wearing, I kid you not, an outfit that was almost a carbon copy of what I wore the previous weekend. Down to the accessories, he bought the same brand of sneakers I just got. I looked at him and felt like I was looking in a mirror, but like a slightly distorted, uncanny valley mirror. I made a joke about it, like, oh, nice fit, looks familiar, and he just shrugged it off like, yeah, it just felt like switching it up. Okay, weird. But maybe he just looks up to me. Whatever, then it was the music. You know how protective I am over my playlists. I put him onto this super niche indie band that I found nobody in our town listens to them. I played it in the car once. The next time we're all hanging out as a group, someone asks for the aux and Carter grabs it. Guess what he plays? My band. And he's singing along, acting like he's their day one fan, explaining their backstory to my friends like he discovered them. I'm sitting in the backseat, literally jaw dropped. I looked at him like, bro, are you serious? But I didn't say anything because I didn't want to look petty over a song. But the moment I knew he was actually insane, it was the stories. Girl, do you remember that story I told you about what happened to me on vacation in Florida? The one where I got locked out of the hotel room in just a towel and had to run through the lobby. That is my trauma. That is my funny anecdote. We were at a bonfire last week. Everyone's talking, having a few drinks. Carter starts talking, getting everyone's attention. He goes, oh my God, that reminds me of this one time I was in Florida. My blood ran cold. I sat there and listened to this man recite my life experience word for word. He told the story as if it happened to him. He used my punchlines. He described the lobby exactly how I described it to him when we were hanging out one-on-one. Everyone was laughing, thinking he's so funny and chaotic, and I'm sitting there feeling like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I wanted to scream, that didn't happen to you, but I was so shocked I couldn't even speak. It was pathological. It was terrifying. Who does that? Who steals another man's memories? And if it was just the copying, maybe I could handle it. Maybe I'd just think he's pathetic. But then the hostilities started. It's like once he felt comfortable in the group, my group, might I add, he decided he needed to take me down a peg. To replace me or something. He started making these little jabs, you know, jokes that aren't really jokes. We'd be talking about something and he'd say something like, oh yeah, well you know he isn't exactly the smartest with money. Or bringing up embarrassing stuff from middle school that nobody in my new group knew about. He was airing out my dirty laundry to make himself look cooler. He'd interrupt me constantly. If I started talking, he'd talk louder. If I made a joke, he'd roll his eyes or not laugh, making it awkward for everyone else. It felt like he was competing for the main character spot in a movie that I cast him in as an extra. And the privacy invasion, that was the final straw. He started asking questions that were way too personal in front of everyone. He knows things about my family situation, you know, the stuff with my dad because I trusted him back in the day. He started hinting at it when we were with the guys. Hey, how's your dad doing? He's still living downtown. Just really loud, really prying questions meant to rattle me. He started deeming my other friends, asking weird questions about me, like checking my location or seeing who I was with when I wasn't with him. It felt like surveillance. I felt suffocated. I felt like my identity was being harvested. So today I snapped. I couldn't take it anymore. I woke up and just knew I had to end this. I texted him and said we needed to talk. He pulled up, acting all casual, wearing my style again, probably listening to my music. I didn't even beat around the bush. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Look, I don't think we should hang out anymore. I don't want you around me or my friends." He looked shocked. "Whoa, where is this coming from?" I laid it all out. I told him, "You are moving weird. You're copying everything I do. You stole my clothes style, my music taste. You're literally telling my life stories as your own, and on top of that, you're constantly disrespecting me in front of the group. It feels like you're trying to be me, and it's creeping me out." And you know what he did? He laughed. He literally laughed in my face. He looked at me and said, "Bro, you are tripping. You think you invented vintage tees. You think you're the only person who likes indie music. You're so full of yourself. I haven't done anything to you. You're just insecure." Gaslighting, pure unadulterated gaslighting. He denied the story staling, claimed he had a similar experience in Florida, which is a lie. He denied the jabs, said he was just roasting the homies. He tried to flip it and make me look like I was the one creating drama out of thin air. He made me feel crazy for a second, I'm not gonna lie. I stood there shaking, wondering if maybe I was overreacting. But I stood my ground. I told him, "I know what I see and I know how I feel, and I don't like how you move. We're done." He drove off, calling me a psycho. After he left, I was spiraling. I felt sick. So I called up 2 of the guys from the group, the ones I'm closest with. I needed a reality check. I asked them, "Am I crazy? Have you guys noticed Carter acting weird towards me?" And thank God they validated me. One of them was like, "Bro, honestly, we were waiting for you to say something. It was getting uncomfy. We noticed he was trying way too hard to be you. And that comment he made about your family last week was out of pocket." Hearing them say that was such a relief, but it also made me realize how bad it actually was. If they noticed, it wasn't just in my head. This dude really came back into my life, infiltrated my safe space, tried to clone my personality, and then tried to push me out of my own circle. Is this just high school drama? Is this what being 18 is? Because it feels deeper than that. It feels malicious. It feels like he's deeply insecure, and instead of finding himself, he decided to just wear my skin like a suit. It's giving identity thief. It's giving fatal attraction. I'm just so drained. I feel betrayed because I let him in. I trusted him. I vouched for him. And he used that access to try and dismantle me. I'm done with him. I blocked his number. I blocked his socials. But now I'm worried he's going to try and spin the narrative to the group or try to cling on to them separately just to spite me. Am I overreacting? Did I go too hard? I don't think I did. I think I protected my peace. But looking at his face when he denied everything, it was chilling. He truly believes his own lies. Anyway, that's the tea. I need a nap or a vacation or a restraining order. Tell me I did the right thing, please, because my heart is still pounding out of my chest.